Hey guys, all right, I'm just gonna finish up this video here on the hand. Well, I'm gonna do an attempt just so you guys can keep going. This is really gonna explain what we're using those SDK nodes for. I wanted to just back up just a little bit, and I'm talking a little bit fast. I'm trying to get this done under 15 minutes, so you might have to pause a couple times. Anyway, I want to double check and make sure that you guys all have your orientations right, especially including the thumb. So if we select the hierarchy of the thumb, everything should be rotating on the Z axis. So if I shift select that and I got a hotkey up here for hierarchy and I rotate on the Z, it's all curving correctly. The thumb folds under, fingers fold under. It's going to be extremely important that we have this. So if I select the whole hand and I select the hierarchy and I rotate on the Z, the whole hand should curve down under here. Okay, so it's extremely important. I get a little flip off here. Nice. Uh, anyway, that's not rotating. Jeez. That's not rotating because I have controls on it. So anyway, I just want to cover that. So I'm going to hide all those axes. Make sure all of your joints are orientated so they're rotating on the Z. Very important. And then again, the naming convention is also very important. So make sure that you have everything set up the way I've got it set up over here. I don't need the risk control here. Here we go. Oh, I've got this control. Don't mind this for a minute. I just set that up before the video so that I can save a little bit of time. So anyway, what you should have is left, and this should be called left middle finger. My controls are C, B, A. So let's expand this like I said I was going to do. It'd be nice if I could just click on one and expand all these. Okay, so again, Control C down here. This should be left middle finger. So you have left index finger, left middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, thumb. You understand. But that needs to be noted in the hierarchy and the names. Very important. Like I said, I just grabbed this. This is the file I had. I could grab and put together this video. And again, anyway, so this is Control C, B, A, and you'll notice them here. Okay. Now, also, so now what I'm going to do here, you're going to have 5 sets of these controls, okay? And what you need to do is deselect here, and we're going to create an empty group, and I'm going to parent them to a group node. And so either you can select on nothing and hit Control G. I've got a hotkey set up here. So I've got an empty group. It comes in as a null. I'm going to group that just one time, once this time. And because I'm not going to use SDKs on this, I'm setting this up for my SDKs. I'm going to call this left fingers control. And I put left fingers because I'm going to control the fingers and the thumb. So left fingers control offset. We're very used to doing this, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to parent it to the palm joint here. So parent, oops, I'm done with that. Parent, I'm going to zero everything out. Come on. Of course, when I try and do something in 15 minutes. Anyway, so I zero everything out, and then I'm going to unparent. And if we do the thing, so now my offset node is snapped to the palm joint, and I have a left fingers control. Hold on one second, just make sure I got my naming convention set up. Okay, so that's the right naming convention. So I have my left fingers control offset nodes. So now you guys are going to have, like I said, 5 groups of these, 5 offset nodes here in your hierarchy. So what you need to do is select all 5 of these, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to parent them underneath the left fingers control offset node, and you can highlight those, and then I'm just going to middle mouse button drag them under that node. So all these finger constraints or controls are parented under the left fingers control offset node. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up so the skeleton controls this node, so that when this skeleton moves, because my wrist control is moving the entire skeleton, and I want this entire chain to follow. So I'm going to select the palm joint, and then I'm going to select, I'm going to do it in my outliner. Obviously, it's harder to select it here. So I have my palm joint selected, and I'm going to control select the left finger's control offset group. Okay, and then I'm going to go to constrain parent. Okay, so now what should happen is, well, we'll look at that later. Anyway, so now this is all constrained to that. Everything's going to move when I move the wrist controller because of our hierarchy. So let me open this up if you need to take a screenshot of this to make sure we know where we are. Remember, this is going to be left middle finger. So I have A, B, and C. And okay, so now I've got the hierarchy set up the way I want, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to walk you guys through. So now I created from the comic tools, I created a circle Y shape just to get this orientation the way I want it. I grouped it once, and it is located here. I grouped it once. You can see it's not parented anything yet, so if I was to, when I move that, it doesn't move anywhere, so I haven't left you guys in the dark. Here's the controller. I grouped it once, and I named it left fingers attributes control. Make sure I'm recording. Yes, I'm recording. And, sorry. Left finger control, and then the offset. Now, again, I'm not going to use the SDKs because this is what I'm going to use to control the SDKs. So, I have this controller set up, and what I'm going to do is use this to control these guys and through their SDK nodes. So that's what we've been creating this node you've been wondering about, and here's why we're doing it. Okay, so here's it. Well, okay, so basically I'm going to have this control these guys, and you're going to be able to set these up for all the fingers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to zero out, and I'm going to lock and hide. Actually, I'm not going to zero out these. These are already set. I'm going to lock and hide all of these because we're not going to use any of those. We're going to create all of our own custom. So I'm only going to be able to do one because I only have one thing of control set up. So, but you should get the idea after this. So I'm going to call this middle finger. I don't know if you have to type in middle finger. I think you would probably get it. But minimum is -10. Maximum is 10. Be careful. I set this up wrong the other time. I put -10, 0, 10. Anyway, make sure the minimum value is your lowest number. Obviously, the maximum is your highest. And the default has got to be 0. Otherwise, you get in trouble. I just had to redo this video. Anyway, -10, 10, 0. And we're in float mode. So remember, it's 10, 9.9, 9.8, 9.7, all the way down to -10. So plenty of variation. We got float, scalar, and I'm going to add that. Okay. Sorry if I'm kind of talking fast. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of coffee today, but I'm also trying to get this done in 15 minutes. Let's see where we're at. 8 minutes. Okay. So, okay, we've got this guy set up. We've got our custom attribute, and we're going to go up into the animate, set driven key set, and I have this selected, so I'm going to load my driver, my left finger attributes controller. And then I wanted to drive all three of these controls, but I wanted to drive their SDK node. Very important. So here's a little trick. Get this stuff to fit. You can select all these. That's going to select the literally the control. You'll notice how it's highlighted blue here, the control. Now, previously we were working with the offset node. Now we want to work at the SDK node. Now, just like the joints, if I had this joint selected and I type the up arrow on the keyboard, it's going to go up and select that. Same thing with our hierarchy. If I have these three selected here, I'm going to tap the up arrow on my keyboard, and watch over here, it'll switch all to the SDKs. Awesome, that's what we want. Uh-oh. Hey. Oh, got the laptop mouse thing on. So all three of my SDKs are set up, and I'm going to load driven. And I'm going to select these. I know I'm going to rotate in the Z. I know I was at 0. I had my middle finger selected at 0. And so all these are zeroed out, and I'm going to key this. Okay? So I'm going to go back into my control, my middle finger, and I'm going to type in my maximum highest value, which is 10. And I'm going to go into the SDK nodes, rotate Z. And what I'm going to do is curl this. Now don't be afraid to exaggerate, because the animator doesn't have to go all the way, but if you don't go far enough, then they can, they don't have that option. So I'm going to go all the way up to there, and it's close to -90, so I'm going to type in -90. You know how I like to round even numbers, and I'm at 10, and I'm going to hit key. Okay, so we go back to our attributes and middle finger. Now if I type in 0, we snap back to 0 here, which is good. And let's go to -10. So we're going to go the opposite way, -10, and I'm going to select my SDKs. Now, I prefer to do it this way. This is much more how a finger works. It's only going to lift from that top knuckle joint. So you only want the top one, which is A. Which, I mean, they're all three highlighted, but I only have the A SDK highlighted. You can see it here. And I'm going to rotate Z, I think. Oh, here we go. Up. You know, I don't know how much you can lift your middle finger, not too much. So let's just say I'm going to go like 45, because that'll be broken, but whatever. So now that's much more normal. If you want, you can key all three of those so you have a curly upswing, but not my route of choice. Anyway, that's important if you want a realistic hand moving correctly. So I'm going to key that, and now I go back in my attribute middle finger, and there we go. Let's move this guy over here. I guess, I mean, I'm sure you can see this. Anyway, so my middle finger now has an attribute of that. I'm going to put it back to 0. And what I'm going to do, just for the sake of time, let's see where we're at, 12 minutes. So yeah, I got 3 minutes left. Now, there's ways to create all kinds of attributes with these. You can select multiple SDKs on multiple fingers, curve and control them around how you want. I really want you guys to do create your own custom, like a fist, finger spread, or whatever, point. So these 3 fingers curl, that one stays the same, or they all curl, that one stays the same. Anyway, whatever you guys want, we'll go over it more in class, but I wanted to show you guys the steps to use the SDK. And hold on one second, let me make sure I got everything set up, and I got 2 minutes to finish this. Okay, yeah, we're looking good. I just want to double check move that back here. My naming convention, you guys take a good look at this. The only thing I did miss is this should be left middle finger, which I've said about 5 times, but anyway. And I apologize, I just kind of got caught behind. But we'll go over more doing these customs. But yeah, you can do all kinds of custom ones where you can have a grip, where get the hand more grip so it can hold like a weapon or whatever. So come up with some of the ones, a custom one for yourself, and then finally what we're gonna do is close all this. So we have our left finger's control. Which is the entire fingers. Don't get that confused with the finger control, which is individual. It should be left middle finger. So we have the left finger's control, which was parented to this palm joint here, and I have the control, my custom attributes control here, and I'm going to go on the offset mode, and I'm just going to parent it to the left finger's control. I'm going to tap W so you can see that's where the left finger's plural offset node is. So I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to middle mouse drag under the left finger's control, and bam, there we have our hierarchy. The parent constraint you can just move below, so it I don't know, so it's at the bottom of the stack, just kind of a preference thing. Anyway, take a good look at the hierarchy, and this is what we should have. Again, so if I select this controller here, you guys should have a line down here: middle finger, roll, middle finger, index finger, pinky finger, grip, move, rotate, whatever, salute, point, bird, flip something off, whatever you want. And like I said, that going up is more natural. So anyway, hopefully this gets you guys through that stage at least. And again, I'll make a complete set of those videos here shortly, so you guys have more to work with. But this should get you going on the set driven keys. Okay.